And I knew instantly, I'm a millionaire. I knowed it. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Elise Diane. I want to tell you about how I started my business and created my product. It's so crazy because I had no intention on making the product. I didn't even know I was an inventor until I invented something, but it just happened. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Like when I was a kid, when I first heard of that concept, I was like, oh, that's me. I'm gonna do that. And then life goes on, you go to college, you get a job, and I'm working. I'm not supposed to be in these jobs. Like, how do I make the jump? And I didn't know how to do it. Eventually, I got the guts to leave my job, and I left to pursue music. I'm a songwriter and producer. I didn't just leave, 6 months before that, I started planning and saving money and really kind of organizing my life to how I could jump into the next thing. In the past, I've had a vision board or a dream board. They always made me sad because I didn't have the things that was on them, and that made me sad. I was like, forget a vision board, I'm about to get a whiteboard. I'm about to plan, I'm about to really execute and achieve, the things I see for myself. So I got this whiteboard and I organized it in a certain way so that I could plan everything I had to do, because there were so many areas I needed to just kind of get on the ball with. Fast forward to 2019, in January, I left that job. I am, working on music, living and loving life. Eventually, I decided I'm gonna do a songwriter series, a YouTube series, to show how I come up with song ideas. So this is actual footage of the first and only episode of that songwriter series in the beginning. And you can see in the opening credits, it actually says, ditch your dream board, because that was something that was significant for me. That's not my actual address. That's just something I did in Photoshop, just tongue in cheek. And so I said I live on Liddy Lane. I, came in the house in the video and took the whiteboard and I started to arrange it, everything how I wanted it, and I put it up on the wall. That being on the wall, it was like in my living room, and it was just there from then onward. Fast forward from January up to June. I'm walking around my apartment one day. I'm praying, so I'm just walking back and forth through my apartment and whatnot. I walk past the whiteboard. I look at it as I'm walking past, and I just heard a voice say, take that design and sell it. And I was like, and I started thinking, because I knew it was an inspired thought. It was like a download right from heaven. And immediately, I got the idea for the brand, for like all of this background behind what this product should be. And I knew instantly, I'm a millionaire. I knowed it. So then I was like, what should I call this? Like, what is the name of this product? I just remembered how I named the street Liddy Lane when I was making the video about songwriting, and I said, it's the Liddy board. And I literally probably got that whole download of idea, product, everything in about 90 seconds. June the 8th, 2019. That day I knew that was my mission. Like I had to pursue this business and this product. I put music to the side again, and I have worked on nothing but this product for the last year plus. The Liddy board. This is the Liddy board in royal blue. It is pretty much a luxury vision board, but it's really kind of big. It does a lot more than a vision board. This largest section is what you should use as a vision board, and with these sections, you plan how to achieve your dreams, and down here you schedule it. I actually have a video I'm gonna link here that explains exactly how it works. So the next question was, how do I market this product? How do I reach an audience for it? Well, there's a book called Start With Why by a guy named Simon Sinek, and this is the main idea.
Every single organization on the planet knows what they do 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care?
My product is inspired by the sneaker and hip-hop culture. Hip-hop culture is popular culture. Steve Stout explains how that happened.
What does this all mean then, the tanning of America?
Well, tanning is a term that I dubbed that represents the process of the next generation of kids that no longer see color when they see each other. They see each other through shared values, through cultural sharing, but they don't look at each other and segment through color. But I think the phenomenon started many years ago through music, and I basically get into that hip-hop culture allowed for that sharing to take place because everyone had a place to go to that they all responded to. So the clothing, the language, the bling, the rims on your car, it all came out of the culture of hip-hop music.
I think if you distill hip-hop down to its main essence, the energy that drives it is aspiration. Everything is about how to get money or keep money, you know, get rich or die trying, the hunger for more.
I got a baby, I need some money, yeah, I need teeth for my egg.
Even TV shows with that hip-hop influence tap into this energy with stories that show people not being satisfied with where they're at in life, hating their jobs, striving for more, from humble beginnings along the way, setbacks, etc. So the other day I was watching the Rick Ross video for Santorini, Greece. I just started scrolling through the comments and I could even see that same aspirational energy there. Hip-hop culture, it's embraced by all races, sure, but the core audience is Black people. That's who dictates what the music sounds like and what's acceptable in the culture. And many Blacks come from generational poverty.
This is generational poverty.
People are often born into poverty, and it's been poverty that their mother, their grandmother, etc. has experienced.
More than 38 million Americans live in poverty. For Black Americans, it's 1 in every 5, higher than Latinos, Asian Americans, and more than double the rate of white Americans.
As each generation of poverty stacks up on itself, it makes the racial wealth gap bigger and bigger.
Wealth is where sort of past injustices breed present suffering.
I think the racial wealth gap speaks to the fact that we still have a long way to go to achieve ideals of equality in this country.
The median white household's wealth, their savings, assets minus their debts, is $171,000. The median Black household's is $17,600. And that gap is still growing and growing.
The income levels and unemployment rate tell the same exact story. So on the one hand, you have this cultural identity of aspiration, swag, bling, being lit. And on the other hand, you have this financial condition that doesn't let you do all those things. What that dichotomy does is it creates a paralyzing frustration. And that feeling right there, that's my why. My target customer for the Liddy board is immersed in hip-hop culture. They love the music, know all the slang, inside jokes, the memes. I mean, they're smart, they're super ambitious, they want more for their lives, they're positive people. They listen to inspirational content like every day, but they still struggle to achieve their dream lives. They're tired of elusive philosophies like the law of attraction and manifestation. They're willing to work hard for success, but they need guidance to make the most of their precious time and money. And did I mention, they love sneakers. You really can't separate sneakers from hip-hop culture. It's like super enmeshed. The first endorsement deal between an artist and an athletic brand happened because of the smash. And you know, it makes sense. Sneakers are streetwear, the streets and urban environment, that's where hip-hop comes from. Nothing has changed today. So Christian Dior did a collab with Jordan brand, right? They're super dope, but they teamed up with Travis Scott in the marketing. His music is behind it, he's modeling them on the website, and they sent some to Quavo as an influencer. Hip hop, urban, that's the market for sneakers. My product, the Liddy board, is inspired by the sneaker, and it has a lot in common with it from a design perspective. Let me explain. So you have the Jordan brand and you have the Liddy board brand. The first design of the Jordan was the ones, right? Iconic. The first design of the Liddy board is the blue face. The function of the Jordans is walking. The function of the Liddy board is to have a vision for something, to plan it out, and to accomplish it. Dream it, plan it, do it, period, right? So you have this first design of the blue face, but just like a sneaker, it comes in multiple different colorways. And those colorways are determined by the line colors. But the Jordan came in multiple designs, not just the ones. The Liddy board is gonna come in other designs too. For example, if I did a collaboration with Basquiat, right? If I did a Basquiat line of Liddy boards, each would have a different name, like the Ishtar, the Flesh and Spirit, the Hollywood African, the Mecca, or the Skull. Endless possibilities really with the looks of how it can look and what the background graphic can be. But that's just to inspire you, because you have dreams, therefore you have things to do.
With dreams, you have to make time. You have to find the time. If you have to buy it, buy it. Because guess what? There's no one on this planet that's ever going to come and say they're going to do anything for you. And don't ever expect somebody to do anything for you. You're very capable. God has provided you with all the tools you need to succeed. You just have to use them.
That's core to my product. Being active, accomplishing things day in and day out, you know, moving with focus toward what you want to accomplish. That's why on the back of the board I have dream it, plan it, do it, period, because that's how you're gonna accomplish anything. There's this book called The Science of Getting Rich. It's one of my favorites. Here's a clip from it.
By thought, the thing you want is brought to you. By action, you receive it. Whatever your action is to be, it is evident that you must act now. There is never any time but now, and there never will be any time but now. You cannot act where you are not. You cannot act where you have been. And you cannot act where you are going to be. You can act only where you are. Do not wait for a change of environment. Before you act, get a change of environment by action. You can so act upon the environment in which you are now as to cause yourself to be transferred to a better environment. Hold with faith and purpose the vision of yourself in the better environment, but act upon your present environment with all your heart and with all your strength and with all your mind, and use your present environment as the means of getting into a better one.
The science of getting rich. So it's a science. You think of something and then you work towards it consistently. That builds up this energy that's going to eventually result in accomplishment. The culture of hip hop, urban culture, which I am of, obviously, this culture, it promotes success, but it doesn't promote the path to success. We want more, but our background doesn't teach us how to get it. How we gonna learn? When? Who gonna teach us? That's really the DNA of my product. The Liddy board is an ode to the creative brilliance of Black people. This is FUBU.
For us on the low.
You feel me?
All my niggas in the whole wide world. All my niggas in the whole wide world.
I honestly didn't know how to market it. I didn't. Anybody who I would talk to, like one-on-one or explain, they'd be like, yo, that's crazy. But I was like, how do I really present it to people and kind of like push it? And eventually I just figured out, just tell my story. I believe it's gonna be an amazing brand in the years to come. I invite you on this journey with me. I'm at the very beginning. I am getting it out the mud just like you. I started making these by hand and I just leveled up with a supplier and I just ordered my first 100 units. I am so excited. Check out liddyboard.com. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share, talk about it. Go to the website, follow us on IG. In the next video, I'm gonna be discussing the logo, which is like, it was so, kind of like how I got the idea for the whole thing. I was like, the logo gonna be this. And it was like done in like 2 seconds. The slogan, some other brand elements you might see here or there. But I look forward to talking to you more in the next video, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye.
All my niggas in the whole wide world.